Welcome to Profiles in Eccentricity, a show about weirdos. With your hosts, John Fahey, Aaron Peter, and Matt Brousseau.
Hello, folks. Welcome to Profiles in Eccentricity. It's a show about weirdos, doggone it. My name is Johnboy. It is Johnboy time. I'm your host, John Francis Fahey. Joining me, as ever, is Bali. Like Wall-E. Back from Bali. Ball-E. Aaron Josephina.
Dude, that is...
So
this
bad.
is one that must be struck from the record.
Yeah. This will be taken down.
This will be fixed in post.
This will be Ball-E.
Ball-E. R. Bali. Richard Bali. I mean, you could have done something like that.
I could have, yeah.
R. Bali.
Yeah.
Dick Bali.
Dick Baller.
Bali
Dick
McBall
Ball.
face.
Dick Baller. God, imagine putting that in your... Stop.
You want to be a dick baller. It's good to be back. To my right, your left.
Handsome Matt Brousseau, the Frenchman henchman.
Hi.
How you
Hey,
doing?
what do you got there, boy?
Oh, it's a big fat bottle opening dick.
Yeah, dude, they make...
Jesus Christ, it is dick-shaped.
That's the smallest one.
Holy shit.
Dude, they make, like...
Look at the little balls at the bottom. Ball-E.
They got big
They almost
ones.
look like tits.
They got big balls?
Dude, they got big cock bottle openers.
It's perfect. I don't believe in gender, so
Now,
it
who
looks like
has the
there's,
biggest balls of them all, anyway?
there's tits on this dick.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I like it. A couple
I
of
get it.
big fat milkers right at the bottom of your
Shaft.
yep.
Hold on a
Squirting
second.
white liquid everywhere. Oh, both of them.
No, that makes sense.
Oh, my God. Both of them.
All three. Sorry.
I'm going to juggle these dick tits around.
I want to get some nipples tattooed on my balls.
That's a good idea. Let's all do that.
Yeah, that's fun.
Okay,
Well, that was easy.
you first.
Okay.
Let's do each other. Actually.
I think we should all get very different nipples to show
Yes.
the diaspora. You know what I mean?
The great nipple diaspora.
Yeah, because some of them have gone very
Rogue.
far.
These
Some
nipples.
of them have gone wrong,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna get some wrong ones.
Yeah. Big areolas.
I like borderless areolas.
Yeah, the ghost in the dark.
ghost
yeah,
nipples?
Yeah.
That's a fun time.
I like the ones that you can read the braille, and you're like, oh, it says SOS or something like that. Braille
What about-
and Morse code. I
Yeah, and then the nipples like a darker color, but the areola is lighter. That's
guess.
fun.
Yeah.
All that shit's cool, man. All that shit's cool.
The weirder your nipples are,
The more fucking taken we are about it.
yeah. And I say nipples as a catch-all, both the nipple and the areola.
Same.
I know that.
Same.
I mean, listen.
The nipple area.
Yeah, listen. We know the vagina is not the vulva, but
Yeah.
we call it the vagina anyways.
Yeah,
okay?
whatever the clit is, who cares?
All right. Now that's a myth.
Yeah. This is coming from a guy that stayed at Comertage.
Dude, I straight up did. It was awesome.
Yeah. Do you want to tell us a little bit about Bali? Just a couple of...
You know,
You went there with Marcelo Lynch Pope.
Marcelo Lynch Pope.
We got to play some clips from that next media.
Yeah.
This guy fucking spitting out Marcelo's name. I listened to the credits just to hear him say it.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yep.
Every time.
He's chewing on it.
The coming next on Marvel's Wastelanders has already happened. I sit through all of
To get to the additional voices by
additional voices bar. Marcelo Lynch Pope.
Dan Fink,
Yeah.
Bruce Winan, Marcelo Lynch Pope.
He does.
He fucking chews on it.
He's like a fucking steam whistle, that guy.
Yeah.
My name is Tim Rose.
Oh, yeah.
Who I found out is Admiral fucking Akbar.
Yeah. It's a trap
Oh,
guy.
wow.
He's the guy fucking spitting out Marcelo.
Oh, no, the original one was as actual squid.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's actually calamari.
Oh,
Because there's a
sorry.
more calamari race. So get it right or pay the price. Okay.
God, remember when they had
So politically
remember when they had Imperioli do the fucking the calamari thing
Yeah, dude.
in Watchmen?
Yeah.
God, that took me straight back there. Calamari now takes me straight back
Yeah.
to a squid joke from Watchmen. The only squid we think about now is calamari. What?
Hey.
Really bad.
So, flight there long.
Did you have all the lady boys and all that shit?
No, that's not That's not Bali. Bali is a
Pretty sure that's Bali.
I mean, it doesn't matter. You can still have them.
And Bollywood, what's that about?
that's what lady boys have. Dude, fucking straight up alien shit, man. Like old. Everywhere's fucking a temple. Every house has their own temple, and it's better than the place that they live in.
Yeah.
Straight up Kamar-Taj. It's like,
like-
you've never
it's
seen
like-
more green.
It's
and
like a
hill.
living room is better than the den where your family actually hangs out.
Dude, it's crazy.
Well, the living room's for guests.
The living room is, for...
we don't use it's the
Company.
good China.
Don't sit on that.
Yeah, no.
That's for good people. Don't I live in this house?
Yeah, they make offering. They're twice a day offerings to the gods. And,
Right. What are they offering? Nut?
stuff wrapped in
Well, I
banana
am.
leaf, a little cracker, a flower,
Oh,
a
God.
coin.
Really?
Wrapped in banana leaf twice a day. You go to the temple. Yeah, there's temples everywhere, dude. Everywhere.
So is it
everywhere.
not as Islamic?
It's not at all. Bali is not. The
Oh.
rest of Indonesia is.
I see.
Well, and then Indonesia has I think 14,000 islands.
That's a lot of islands, huh?
Good God Almighty.
But-
Where do they keep them all?
In the water.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Right there.
keeps them fresh. Indonesia is the fourth largest country by population.
Jesus Christ.
China, India. India's going to beat China, by the way. India,
Well, you heard it
China,
first.
U.S., Indonesia.
Yeah.
They got like 275 million people. It's the largest Muslim country by population.
Damn.
But Bali is like straight up Hindu.
And I believe Butch is hiding out in Indochina.
Yeah, man, you got to have people jumping out of trees. Ooch.
I watched
Yeah,
it the
man.
other night.
It's so good. Everyone speaks English.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of like Australia's Mexican Riviera. Like,
Okay.
Because
I was
it's
going to say
right
Hawaii or something.
yeah, it's like their Hawaii but it's,
Hawaii is their Hawaii, I guess.
Yeah, don't
it's just
forget about that.
Hawaii's expensive. Hawaii is the most expensive place to live in the country.
Fuck.
Indonesia's cheap as fuck.
Yeah.
Cheap as fuck. They subsidize gas.
Yeah.
Gas is like, I don't know, the equivalent of, I don't know, $2 a gallon maybe.
What's the volcano life like over there?
We did have an earthquake like the last day.
No shit.
5.5. That was cool.
Yeah.
Our fucking villa shook.
Really?
Not because of the bony.
But it did shake. because
Also
of the
maybe.
They're just like, quick, let's fuck.
No.
Nobody will know.
We don't even have to move. The
saw-
earth is doing it.
Wow, you're so good, man. Yeah.
Standing on the right plates.
So I did see the Living Tribunal statue.
I saw that. That was
fucking
tight.
dope. That I saw.
Is that like what it's based on?
Well, the Living Tribunal is based. There is the three-faced God in many cultures. Hinduism is just like the oldest and like visually dopest.
Yeah.
And
Not even two-faced gods. They're tri-faced.
yeah, there's no
Wow.
fucking lawyers.
My turn.
We were just like
Flip this three-sided coin.
riding scooters back from a little excursion. And I look across the fucking rainforest gully and I just see this gold thing. And I'm like, we got to get over there.
That's
And it
how
was
they
on
get
our
you.
way back to where we were staying at this like bamboo house in the middle of the jungle, straight up. And we found the signs and just followed it and like just. I don't know how these roads got built.
Yep.
I don't know how these people live there. I don't know what it's as alien and as time travel-y as you can get. But
Yeah.
everyone's super friendly and like happy to see you.
That's cool.
It seems like they're in a good mood.
Dude, they're in a super good mood.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
And so then I just
Giving up their graham crackers and shit.
oh man,
To some tri-faced
Yeah,
god.
they don't need them. They have so many.
Some sicko.
it was great. I could talk more about it on the Patreon.
All right.
There's not much to talk about, but it's fucking if you got to save up a little money and you want to live somewhere, go live there.
I know.
Never seen so much green in your life. Everything's fucking wet.
Soaking.
Oh,
Soaking
yeah.
wet.
How are the people as far as the attractiveness?
I don't want to speak to that.
You don't want to.
No.
So they're not looking too hot, huh? Okay. All right. Well,
We'll save it for Patreon.
Yeah. If you want to know how fuckable the Indonesians are,
To Aaron Pita.
Send a self-addressed stamped envelope to your mother's house.
listen, man, they're hospitable.
Hospitable. So use the word spit in there.
You're more of a swallowable.
Yeah.
Jesus.
You said it, pal.
Brahma. Ganesh.
Mahalo. Matt, you were in Chi-Town. What was that like?
Wow.
They got a lake.
I saw you by the lake.
Did you?
I did. You posted a picture of it.
Oh, yeah. I posted a picture of my shadow
Yes.
by the lake. I was wearing a hat, so you couldn't see my
I didn't even know you were there. I was asking you to hang out.
Did you ask me that before the picture?
No, yeah. It was before, yeah.
Okay, good, because that would have been the real... It was great. I was so excited to be there. My first night there, I did an open mic. I haven't done an open mic in like...
Hey!
Did you blow them out of the fucking water?
I had a great time.
Did you really? Yeah. That's nice.
They don't know what they're fucking doing over there, dude.
He goes to Bali once. He goes to Chicago now.
Yeah.
Never been.
Big Bollywood star. Yeah, you gotta go, dude.
Why?
Chicago's great.
Yeah, why? Dude.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Listen, man. I went to the fucking jungle, man. Chicago.
All right, listen to me.
Okay.
Hear me now and listen to me later.
Okay.
Matt, I don't know. You might know about this.
Okay.
Because it's of Canadian origin.
Okay.
It was made. It was brought to my attention by one Dodger.
Dojo.
And
Can't try. So who knows if it's even real?
Yeah.
no, it's very real. It's just kind of an unsolved little thing I wanted to do before starting the profile here tonight, which probably will be a two-parter.
If any of you or your fucking friends have any clue how this fucking thing ends, call us.
Do you know what I did the other day with Richard Park?
Mushrooms?
Jacked off?
No, it's the usual thing we do, though. Pretty good call.
Thanks.
I was outside his room and I go, Richard! And then I hear like stumping around. He like opens the door and he goes, what are you doing out here? And I'm like, you don't have to come.
Here.
I'm like, you don't have to come to the door. Just yell through it.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I wanted to make sure it was you.
And I was like, I don't know if you're interested. He goes, I'm not, but tell me. And I go, okay. I'm like, tomorrow at Brain Dead Studios, they're showing basketball.
Oh,
hell yeah,
cool.
dude.
And, you know, he's a huge South Park fan.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it predates Beavis and Butthead Do America?
No.
Okay, so then, but it still has Robert Stack.
It does have Robert Stack.
And he's fucking, but he's on camera, he goes, according to the nosy bitch down the block. He's talking about like the dude disappearing when he goes to like India to fix the sweatshop that makes their shirts or whatever the fuck, all that shit. And then he's back on TV playing basketball, and it cuts to Robert Stack going, we still have no fucking idea where this guy is.
Basketball, good movie.
Yeah.
I mean, bad movie.
It's bad, yeah.
But dude, me and my best friend in junior high, we just started playing basketball in his back driveway.
Dude, I was gonna say it was a movie when you saw when you're like 13.
This game's all right.
And you go like, I understand the rules.
Yes.
You're like this is a driveway game we actually can play that's not athletic.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Listen, man, every guy wants to play catch with his son, right?
Yeah.
Not me.
Yeah.
We're playing basketball, dude. And you're gonna suck the chrome off this trailer. It was Jenny McCarthy was in it. And who was she dating?
Ernest Borgnine. He's the guy that starts the league.
Yeah. And she comes back and she brings back a dull trailer hitch.
Yeah, trailer hitch that she actually sucked the chrome off.
She's like, I'm done getting all that chrome
want me
off.
to start on this one? He's gonna lay some carpet, you know what I mean? And she's laying carpet, and he's like, the floors of my lobby need to get buffed, and then she's buffing it and knocking over his trophies and totally stupid.
God damn, what a great movie.
Anyway, but this was an Unsolved Mysteries-esque type thing. So there's this kid in Digby Neck, and that's in Newfoundland.
He's a newfie.
Well, you don't know. But this guy is he's on shore and he's freezing cold, and an 8-year-old boy named George Albright finds him, and he brings him back into the Albright home in the village.
What year?
Of Digby Neck. This is 1863, I believe.
Jesus Christ, it could be Nosferatu.
Probably
And
is.
both of this guy that they came to call Jerome, both of his legs have been amputated just above the knees.
Tough start.
With evidence that is done by a skilled surgeon.
Oh, good.
And they were not fully healed yet. So this is fresh. And so yeah, he's cold, exposure, which means outside. Yeah, and
no legs.
So people in Digby Neck are like, what the fuck's going on with this dude? And he didn't understand French,
Who does?
English, Latin, Italian, Spanish. Some people he would growl out them like a dog. He was kind of like, I don't know if he felt like a freak of some kind or something. And people were like, well, look at his hands. And they go, the hands are so soft.
Never done a hard day of labor in his life.
And then that kind of leads to some people going like, it's like a Man in the Iron Mask type situation.
Yeah.
Like somebody
He's got dainty hands with no calluses.
And he was Mediterranean in appearance, they say.
Swarthy?
Yes, he was a bit swarthy. But he was, a handsome man. Right?
Oh, that's nice.
Now, we know that his legs were chopped off. What about his foreskin? That'll tell you a lot. Right, Matt?
They didn't bring up the foreskin.
Did they bring it down?
This is why you need us on the case, pal.
Hey, let me suck his dick.
I know he's wearing a cable knit sweater, but is there a turtleneck underneath?
So, yeah.
He's not Jewish. We got that.
Sure tastes like it, though.
Yeah. Gotta put another coat of paint on this lighthouse.
Knees cut. Cock un.
What, you're yelling from like a basement?
Yeah.
Okay.
So these Albrights, they're like, we got a gang of kids of our own. But he stays there for a minute, right? And
We got a gang
He's a
of
grown
kids.
man?
he's a grown man.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a grown man. And they can't get a word out of him. Not a word. Jerome was because they asked him his name and he some gibberish sounding like Jerome. Fucking idiot. And then so people from the community would just take care of him like house to house.
Pass him along.
Pass him along. And then so there was a Baptist community in Digby Neck and they decided from his appearance that he must be Catholic. And
I'm sorry.
yes. They're like, no Protestants look like that dark, you know what I mean? That's
Okay.
yeah.
Didn't look at the foreskin. We figured that out.
So that means he goes to the neighboring French community of Meteghan, Meteghan.
Sure.
And the government of Nova Scotia, they put in like a $2 stipend a week to support him for whoever takes care of him.
Cool. Good deal.
And
$2 is $2.
Yeah.
so then they're like, let's send him to this fucking Corsican character we got down here named Gene Nicola, who's a bit of an entrepreneur, right?
Oh, they got a Corsican fella in New South Wales?
Yeah.
And they got the one.
Yeah.
And he was a Corsican deserter, whatever that means.
He makes pastries.
Tiramisu.
Yeah.
And he's swarthy too, probably.
Yeah, and he speaks a lot of languages, and he can't get a word out of this motherfucker either.
Did they try to just...
You already said the
Suck his
foreskin
dick?
thing.
Yeah.
No, I don't know if they tried to suck his
How'd
dick.
you know that?
Well, you brought up his dick all once already.
Yeah.
So I know where your head's
Dude,
at.
you get a good sucking going, you're about to be like, holy shit! I mean, just if somebody says, oh my God, in their language,
Yeah.
that's where you start.
I think he said it in Aramaic.
Backwards.
He's like, I'm taking it to the old school because I'm an old fool.
His name's Bob.
That gum you like is going to come back in style. I made it Russian. Mm-hmm. So he stays with this Gene Nicola for 7 more years, becoming a favorite of ladies of the household.
They were sucking.
Gene's wife, Juliette, and his stepdaughter, Madalena, Oh, God.
Jerome, what are you doing? I'm stuck in the butter churner. What are you waddling over here for?
You're doing that duck stomp over here.
God.
Fucking goose stepping on over. Whack, whack. So after Juliet dies, the wife of Jean, he goes back to Europe, and Jerome goes to stay with Didier and Zabeth Comeu, or whatever. Who cares? They're French.
It's Nova Scotia.
It's Alphonse de Clare near Metighan. It's French shit. So the Comeaus used Jerome's relative fame to their advantage, charging admission fees to see him in their house.
Come check out this no-leg big dick having mute. Check this shit out.
Look at the skin on.
Man, we tattooed nipples on his stumps.
Look, the chicken's got the skin on, man.
Chickens.
Look, look at those fucked up nipples too.
We tattooed nipples on this.
Yeah, man, titty fuck his thighs. It's like the real thing, man. It'd be so good.
He
You
doesn't
love
even
it.
care, man.
Papa's gonna say no.
He's growling. Oh, that means he likes
We're
it.
trying to get him to say something.
Good surgeon did those.
We're trying to outrage him into saying something by tattooing nipples on his balls
He
and
didn't say
stumps.
shit. Implied consent.
But he hadn't learned anything at this point either.
There's ideas that maybe there was a part of the brain that controls speech was damaged. And
Did he show with
Broca's area?
yes, exactly.
Did he show with like a pipe sticking through his head or anything?
No, well, we'll get to that. Anyway, so he stayed he stayed there, and he seemed content, throughout this time, until a lot of people come around looking at him, which is a thing where you go like, oh, wherever he came from, was he already kind of slow and made fun of? Was that a thing?
Mm-hmm.
There's some ideas there. And he died April 15th, 1912.
He was there for a good amount of time then.
Yes. 1912, Nova Scotia, by the way, flooded with the bodies of the Titanic.
Oh, Jesus.
Did you know that?
What, the thing carrying the bodies in an iceberg there too?
No, that's where they buried them all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Barry took them all to fucking Nova Scotia. Well, the ones they could find.
They just didn't wash up on shore.
Yeah.
No. They went and
So
got them.
far out.
No, they went and got them, yeah.
Honey, the
maybe
bodies are...
maybe he was one of them, but just so early.
Yeah, he missed the boat, but he got there.
He was caught between the berg and the boat. He lost the leg.
It's kind of like a Philadelphia experiment kind of situation.
yeah. He's...
Better early than never. And that's
Ghostbusters 2.
It was like 3-4 references all up in there. Chew on that one for a while, internet.
So here's the hypothesis.
I love hypothesis.
Or hypotheses.
Sure.
It's been suggested that Jerome was a sailor who may have attempted a mutiny, being punished by amputation. And others that he could have been an heir to a fortune and was gotten rid of to make way for someone else seeking his inheritance. And that's just because of the soft hand shit. But I'm like, I don't know, man.
A sailor probably wouldn't have soft hands, I imagine.
And so they said, yeah, it was...
Could be a cabin boy.
the speech difficulties were the Broca's area, and he would have been incapable of speaking any kind of language with damage to that part. And you're just making animal noises and not being able to do human language ever.
Yikes.
And so in Nova Scotia, there was a bunch of books written about him. There was a feature film called Jerome's Secret, Le Secret de Jerome. And it got 15 awards worldwide. 2008, local historian Fraser Mooney Jr. of Yarmouth, Nova Scotia, published a book entitled Jerome, Solving the Mystery of Nova Scotia's Silent Castaway. In this book, Mooney offers a solution to the man's mysterious origins. He reports that on the other side of the Bay of Fundy in Chipman, New Brunswick.
Can't trust him.
In 1859, a young foreigner was reported as having fallen through river ice. He developed gangrene in both legs due to the accident, and they had to be amputated by a local doctor.
Shit.
And then he became known as Gamby because upon awakening, he called for gamba, which is Italian for leg.
So no one spoke Italian.
Leg.
And so then he was like passed around Chipman, but like nobody had the money. And they also had kind of like a cruel tax guy there. And then they were like, listen, take this guy back to Boston and then hopefully to England, and then get him back to his family in the Mediterranean. The guy doing the taxes just gives into like another like shipping vessel and is like, just get him out of here.
Damn these taxmen.
So it was like, yeah, they kind of, I guess, did the surgery, and then like he was just immediately a burden on this tiny little fishing village, and then they were like, all right, fucking deuces. And then nobody in the town really wants to talk about it, so
Neither does he.
it was a different thing where I was like, once he went over to this side of the bay, there was at least luckily enough of a town there to take care of him.
Yeah.
But in this other place, it was just like,
I mean,
man.
Do you know if there was any attempt at communication by him other than language, like just like pointing at shit or like my ass, or like
Yeah.
just any
my ass
hurts?
the foreskin
Yeah.
sounding
Goes in here.
Yeah, you know, there's a difference. This is my understanding is that there's a difference between being mute
yes,
and then and having the capacity for language or not having the capacity for language.
yeah.
Are you saying, or is it that he does not have the capacity for language? Period.
That was
That was the assumption.
yeah. Like, there's no problem with eating a sandwich.
Right.
There's no problem with having a cup of tea. There's that sort of, so that's all
Right,
good.
okay.
But
What about
But I understand what you're saying.
like
Communication is there's so many other ways to do it.
and there,
Yeah.
right there, and there's so much wrapped up in language that like okay, think for a second, you know, like let's you don't now Matt, you're damaged to your Broca's area. You can't do language anymore. What do you think in
yeah.
shapes?
Right.
Like
right.
what, you know, like that's my question. Was this guy so fucked up?
I
that,
believe
like,
I would say if there's brain damage to that part of the area, there very well could be damages to other areas too.
Right.
So there's a thing there where like I don't think he's making like, you know, like funny little like looks or.
he's not a mime.
But also
Right.
there was a thing where he just stayed kind of like the subject of like rumor and like superstition. Like it was a thing like oh, one time 2 women came and talked to him in a room. They asked to talk to him alone, and then they left.
With smiles on their face.
And it's like no, it was the thing was like oh, they heard him. They were able to communicate with him, and it's like no way. There's no fucking way.
Right, and then they never did it again. They're like, yeah.
Yeah, there's this obvious thing where people wanted to believe he was some kind of prince, and then all of the freaking fairy tales around it
right.
lean into that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's compelling.
Yeah, sure. And also like, doesn't it make it easier to do a nice thing?
Oh yeah, whatever story you got to tell yourself to be nice.
Sorta.
Sure, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like,
makes
oh,
sense.
do nice deeds so that you get gifts from Santa. Do nice deeds so you go to heaven. Mm-hmm. Do nice deeds because this guy might be a prince instead of this guy's a human being who can't. Who's
Right.
freezing legless
Yeah.
on a beach in North America.
But it's one of those things too when I think about it where I go like, what else is there to say? Except it's Canada, we're freezing, there's a fire, there's food.
right.
We got this little bit of money coming in. He lives comfortably, and people would just really go in the house and just look at him curled up by the fire,
And then leave.
and then leave, and they would pay.
Leave a couple shekels.
Yeah. Sometimes they bring him gifts and stuff. Sometimes he'd growl at
Well,
them.
you know, it used to be really boring.
It did. It
It
did.
used to be very, very boring.
Well, not in the 1800s in Nova Scotia.
No, there's
Oh no, you're right. It was the fucking,
there's a guy you go look at.
like the 3-ring circus over there.
We're gonna go down and watch the guy that gets suck his own dick.
Yeah, let's go down to the station house. Yeah, I mean, anytime you could see something fucking, you know, weird back then, you pay. I'd buy that for $1.
Yeah.
Let's check out this guy's got no legs. All right.
Can you imagine how the people of the Digby Bay area would have head back to Chipman later? Like, hey, we hear you don't really take care of your amputees here.
What's up
More
with
likely to put them on a ship and throw them in the fucking ocean.
that? What's up with that?
You got the taxes collected.
Anyways,
what
we
about
hear
the-
he's a prince.
I hear human life is cheap here in Chipman.
I heard you feel lucky, punk.
I hear freedom costs $1.05.
I've got myself a fistful of dollars here. You know what I do for a few dollars more?
Should we take a little break? We'll come right back and we'll start the main portion of the show.
Sure.
Be right back, folks. And we're back. Boys.
Mm-hmm.
The three bottoms. Her the four tops, he's the three bottoms.
Space for one more.
Fill them up.
So I want to talk to you about post-war Japan.
WW2, eh?
Mm-hmm.
That's an interesting time.
Very interesting time. Of course, as we know, part of the great legacy of that is the Advanced Constitution, which was rendered by Douglas MacArthur and his team. And, very much based on FDR's wanting to promote the new Bill of Rights, which would be about healthcare and things like that. And that was all very much part of post-war Japan.
Right.
And,
We try to give it a shot here.
well, here's the thing that's funny about it to me, because also, MacArthur was like far right.
Very.
Oh yeah, and I think it's funny that
I think he referred to himself in the third person, too.
Yeah. Man. God, man. Him and Patton. What a bunch of psychos, dude. Each worth a profile. Easily.
And a half.
Yeah. But it's funny because of I think the 9th article of the Constitution, which was no standing army. And
For Japan.
For Japan. And so it's a thing where you go like, all right, well, you can't give them guns. I guess we'll give them health care. And like, like that almost like mentality. But also part of his thing was there was a lot of progressive stuff for a right-leaning guy. And that included like freeing all of the political prisoners of war, including all of the communists. Right? So a lot of communist intellectuals came out of prison. And
were they Japanese nationals?
Yeah. And that also led to the people that would come out of prison and the people that would later join the Communist Party to being very pro-democracy. Right? So they weren't like exactly eye level with Mao and shit, because they were like, oh, okay, well, now we're looking forward to this new Japan, and like, like fucking democracy is brand new, right? And the samurai, all that shit, and the emperor, like that just happened.
They thought the dude was a god up until fucking V-Day.
Yeah. So now they're suddenly thrust into, the electoral politics thing, but they do have this great, new,
World order.
constitution, and there is, all these people being, but part of that was strategic, right? Because part of the idea was like, they were trying to do like denazification of the old Japan order, so they were almost being like, hey, let's let out all those commies so that they freak out.
Yeah.
And so like it'd be a thing like where they're taking some of the people out of the universities, let's say. But also MacArthur was a big proponent of them getting involved into academia, which was only for the elites in Japan before that.
When you say them getting involved into academia, do you mean just the lay Japanese person?
Yeah, more the middle class and upper middle class, but it was strictly an elitist thing before.
Right, but he was saying, all you, fucking rice farmers, y'all got to go to school. Is that what
it was that there was more education, that it was free and accessible to more people, like all part of that new Japan.
He was about it.
He was about it, or at least, the holdovers from FDR that wanted all that shit in place in these places that we were doing kind of reconstruction on, right? Like all these students now are suddenly like these influxes in colleges, and MacArthur encourages them to basically form student unions, right? And because they had a thing we go to college and there's fucking talks or lectures out of stuff, but like we don't really know what we're doing and everything. So like but then what happens when students get together is they fucking
become communists.
They become fucking activists, and a lot of them became communists. And I think it was like the student society was basically like an extension of the Communist Party. And by the way, to this day, the Japanese Communist Party is still the largest Communist Party in Asia, not in power. So it didn't really go away. But here's what did happen. Is that then once the students are mobilized and they're kind of doing their thing, they're kind of looking at, like Okinawa and shit like that, and they're going like, and then they start protesting U.S. military bases.
Right.
Now MacArthur is not a fan.
No more school.
Weird.
So he sends out some shit about shutting down just protesting. And the schools or the government writes this law and the student unions come out with 200,000 kids on the streets, and
they're protesting the anti-protest bill,
and they stop it like in a day. They stop it like dead in its tracks, because now we're kind of like going into like the 50s and the Red Scare time,
right? And
so then MacArthur tries to get some sort of bill.
So the protest does stop the bill.
It does stop the bill,
yeah.
but then they try to introduce something else, which is like anti-subversive, which is like saying like anti-bad guy.
Right. Yeah, and who decides what the subversive
That's called anti-terrorism.
Right. Yeah.
Counter-terrorism.
Yeah,
Who's
yeah.
a terrorist? Whoever I say.
I don't know.
So now
what's the Orson Welles thing? He's like, I decide who's a Jew.
So now is snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. The U.S. government has now turned this whole population of students that were on their side, even though they were communists, they were pro-democracy, they were pro-West, and now they see this as this huge betrayal. And now, of course, that's going to make them, go more headlong into,
China.
well, it's also a thing there too, where they're so emblematic of, all of the student revolutionary movements. They romanticize what's behind the Iron Curtain
until you pull back the curtain
until they get there, kind of thing.
Protest anything, just not against us. Do whatever you want.
The whole God, you remember that communist girl?
Yeah.
I was like, dude, there's nothing to romanticize.
Yeah.
Go if you want to live in a communist style. Join a kibbutz.
Yes.
And that's it. Anything bigger than that, you're done.
Yeah.
You're done.
Well, some ideas about that.
It'll work.
Some ideas.
Up to a few hundred some people.
Some ideas about that too. With
if you're not Jewish, good luck.
I got thinking about to the revolutionary, terrorist groups and stuff doing this story. Anyway, let me take you to the next thing. So the next thing is that now there's just people like protesting in the streets all the time, right?
Great.
The student unions they get friendly with the SDS, which is where the Weather Underground came out of.
Now what is the SDS?
Students for a Democratic Society.
Got it.
So they would be like the big peaceful organization, and the student union. They have this thing where they're going like, all right, sure, yeah, we're all communists and all that, but like. Now it's like we're just getting like fucking like pepper sprayed in the streets. Everybody's getting beaten, and like every movement like this, where there's this harsh police crackdown, a certain portion of that left wing think tank is going to be like, there is no peaceful change. It's violent. Right. It's violent revolution.
Right.
It happens every single time. Plus, they can talk to each other now. Like the Black Panthers and everybody. Like that shit is all now coming into play. And so there's a certain amount of people that are going like, all right, well, we can't defeat the riot police in Tokyo, et cetera. Like, they're too good. And we're sick of getting our asses kicked on the street. And we're just, like, going to go back to more peaceful forms of, electoral, political process. And there's then the leftovers are going like, all right, well, we still want to, hand out pamphlets and protest in the street. And then there's the other section that's going like, it's war, baby. What we're doing is war. And so that is the birth of the Red Army faction in Japan, which is actually called the Red Army faction, which is it's the Red Army faction in Germany also. Right. But what it implies, of course, is that there will be violence. And they make, the, of course, critical move that you say at the beginning of all of it, where you go like, as soon as, we rise up, like a global falling of capitalism will follow. You know how that always...
Yeah. It's a really simple process.
Everybody says it, but like it's something that when people said it back then, it got them all excited.
Yeah. It still does now.
The best thing you can do is just wait. Capitalism... it's gonna fuck itself in the ass. Like,
yeah, but it's gonna fuck you first.
Well, yeah, Yeah, but you're not going to all of a sudden do a judo move and start fucking capitalism in the ass. It's kind of anti your own ethos. Like, you are anti-fucking in the ass. You know, like...
As a communist, I'm pro-fucking in the ass.
Well, no, metaphorically speaking.
Oh, okay.
You try... Your idea is to not be the fucker of the ass. You're trying to split up the ass evenly. And fairly and equitably, of course, trying to goat-see it all the way through.
Right, of course, yeah.
But, like, just give it a minute, and capitalism will see it all the way through.
Yeah, but I mean, it's more than a minute, though.
Well, be patient.
Yeah, but people in their 20s are not patient.
Well, fuck them.
No, but that's the thing is, like, that's part of the society. You go, like, we take all these people and then we throw them out of their parents' house and then we're like, hey, go all live together. And they're like, oh, they're making trouble. It's like, yeah, they're fucking 20 and they're pissed.
Stupid.
What, are you surprised?
They have nothing to do other than make trouble.
Yeah.
It's way more fun than reading.
Yeah, you know when they didn't make trouble is when they went to the factories of the farm.
Yeah, or to war.
Well, no, they still made trouble there. That's just like anti-factory trouble. You know,
I guess, man.
Sounds like a trouble factory. Just give it a minute. Capitalism will fail.
Give it a minute.
It'll fail. Dude, it's only been a minute in the great arc of history. You know how long feudalism lasted?
Good point, Aaron.
well,
Capitalism
yeah, but
is already in its late stage and it hasn't existed for more than 250 years.
right. But the person in the 50s is they're too old to. Like, yeah, that's their whole life.
Yeah, well, they can suck my dick.
You heard it here, folks.
You heard it here, folks. You can suck his dick. All right. I mean, I see where you're coming from, and I think that where you're coming from is to see where they're coming from. But here's the thing, man. You just gotta wait. Things out.
So here's the deal, man. You got the first guy, and it's this guy Shiomi Takaya, and he's the ideological honcho of the Red Army faction.
Japanese guy.
And he is, at this time, Khrushchev had been like, oh, the West, we can coexist peacefully. He's like, what a sellout.
Yeah, Nikita Khrushchev. Notorious sellout.
Yeah.
Suck my dick once again.
He was like coexistence is like it's either violent overthrow of every capital. So he's allied with Cuba, Palestine, Korea, Vietnam.
This young guy?
This young guy.
Which is not his name.
Damn it. And so yeah, they were like they just had this thing like they were like gonna fucking fuck shit up, and they threw out some pamphlets and people got excited. And
I do like a good pamphlet.
Who's ready to fuck shit up? We are. How are we gonna do it? Paper.
You take it with a paper market.
and they had one of these things where like they had like a meeting like in ski masks, which nobody really done that shit before, and they made a bunch of speeches and stuff.
Kind of like Watchmen. That's pretty.
And they were just kind of like, basically like, yo, here comes, like, get ready for the fucking, you've seen the lightning, get ready to hear the thunder, sort of thing, right?
Yeah. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
I like the idea. It's, anyone can be behind the mask.
Oh, yeah, of course.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
nefarious.
Yes.
It's powerful. I like that.
It's a very powerful arresting image.
Yes.
Yeah,
You know who else did that? The Klan.
the IRA did it too. It's the anonymity thing.
Yeah.
Come on, we know what it is. The Klan, you're like, well, you guys are the cops. I don't know what you're wearing masks about.
Yeah, also you're
Because they're cool and scary.
Yeah.
bragging about how tough you are.
Yeah.
Masks.
So then they were like, we're going to start attacking the cops, right? You got to get them cops. You got to get them.
The Japanese cops?
The Japanese cops.
Fuck.
And he's, so it's like, and they did this after talking with the SDS. And so they planned this.
So the Japanese Red Faction Army talked with the SDS.
Yeah. And the SDS has not become like the Weather Underground yet. So there's still.
And then is the SDS, I'm sorry, I'm a bit ignorant. The SDS is an international organization?
No, it's an well, I mean, it might be,
It's
but
an American
the
organization?
American organization is the one I know,
Got it.
which then broke off into the Weatherman group, Weather Underground.
Got it. Understood.
But yeah, you know how these things go. I'm sure you can imagine. There's infighting and splinter groups and all that shit.
Yeah, dude. Splinters, Ninja Turtles, the whole nine.
That's the great part about getting the young people into political action groups.
Yeah.
No room for compromise.
Yeah. So they talked about they're going to have a war in Tokyo. And that means they're going to just like throw some like, Molotov cocktails at the cops.
Jeez.
And
Yeah, a war.
and so the police had their eye on them and they would raid their shit, right?
Cool.
And And so then Shiomi, he goes, him and the honchos are like, we're going to kidnap the prime minister. Okay, the prime minister in his house, and they're going to try to stop his meeting with Nixon.
Well,
Oh, so this is 60 something?
69. And he goes, which is finalizing the return of Okinawa to Japan. I don't know why they want to stop that.
well, let's just say they hadn't put too much thought into this, I guess.
Well, maybe they just wanted to get.
They said it was about the American military.
But they say that was the reason.
I mean, I guess you could say, well, maybe, yeah. So then they abduct the prime minister, and then they say, okay, well, you got to get all the U.S. military out of here and give us
I guess, yeah. So they set up this training camp where they're going to make these things called peace bombs.
Oh, yeah. I love peace bombs.
Irony is a big part of these groups, huh?
Now, it's really funny they're called peace bombs because, first of all, they do come out of...
What about a sex bomb?
That's, Tom Jones. It was because part of the ingredients were peace cigarettes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
When you say it, it sounds like pea cigarettes.
Yeah,
And I like that too.
That sounds cool, too.
Well, there's a long history of weapons being named.
Peacemaker.
Yeah, peacemaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the gun...
I love
Guys,
Widowmaker.
a lot of-
Widowmaker's honest.
A lot of the guys... Exactly, yeah. But a lot of the guys
Widower maker.
that did make those weapons, they always had this thing. They're like, oh, this is the final weapon.
Yep.
They're like, this will create so much peace.
Yes.
Isn't that so insane?
Yes.
Yeah,
but no.
absolutely.
Until the nuke.
Until the nuke, and then you're like, oh man, this fat boy
Yeah.
and this little man.
Little guy.
But then, I mean, we just find other ways. We put
there's
fucking Ginsu knives on a tomahawk missile and chop up guys all over the place.
Yeah,
So
this
anyway,
is always
they're
another war.
gonna go to this mountain hideout, and they're gonna do some training to make these peace bombs.
Of course.
And they are middle upper class Japanese kids, so they do need the military training. So that becomes a thing throughout the group, right? And so they
So what becomes the thing is, hey, we know that we are just privileged middle class students, and we need to train with the League of Shadows. Is what you're saying? Like we know that we know.
yeah, we
nothing.
got to get tough, right?
Yeah.
We need to actually have military training. Like it's okay to be pissed,
Right,
But,
but without the training, we're useless.
Exactly.
Got it.
So they're at this Daibusatsu Pass,
Ooh, nice.
and they're learning how to build these peace bombs, and
And one of the ingredients was cigarettes.
and pachinko balls,
Cool.
straight up pachinko balls,
Okay.
which is like pachinko is huge in Japan as like a gambling thing.
Yeah. It's a bing, bing, bing,
Yeah.
bing, bing,
Straight up.
bing, bing,
Like,
bing.
it's pachinko balls, dynamite, and a fused stuffed into the metal containers used by Peace brand cigarettes. Which is like a simple pipe bomb type thing, I guess.
Yeah. You make the shrapnel.
So they're all there, and November 4th, 1950, 300 armed police come in, and because now they're being watched, right? And they arrest 53 people from ages 15 to 26. They find knives, pipe bombs, plans for the assault on the prime minister's residence at the scene. Shiomi was not found there, but he was arrested shortly after, and he's now taken out of the leadership. It was a huge falling. Not only that, perhaps even more devastating was other seized materials about the Red Army faction.
Come on.
Meant that the highest level of authority in the organization was saved for people from the elite universities.
So their whole communism thing was bullshit.
Went straight on class lines.
Yep.
The whole hierarchy from like grunt
Yeah.
to leader was straight along the old capitalist bullshit,
Yeah.
non-revolutionary
Yeah,
at
yeah,
all.
yeah.
Like,
And even you could make an argument that's even pre-capitalist, right? Like the class structure existed in India for 1,000 years. Like people love drawing lines,
yeah.
and as critical as we are, all us three at least are of capitalism. It doesn't have the monopoly on class divide.
No. But it's just particularly hurtful when one is
When you're
talking about the proletariat the whole time.
Yeah, and then you find out, oh fuck.
Oh, the rich guys are in charge of the communists.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, we were shocked to believe that this group of people started acting like people
Yes.
by drawing lines
Right.
in the sand. Brilliant.
So the cops have gotten pretty good at fucking these guys over, right? And
As cops do.
just trailing people, just doing good old fucking gumshoe sleuthing,
Yeah.
and so they were now fucking back to debates and announcements in public where the cops are surrounding, watching every single thing they do. And so then it's like, baby, we got to go guerrilla. We got to go underground, right?
I love that.
Yeah. And so now they set up the cell structure.
Uh-huh.
Familiar with that?
Yes. Sleeper cells or
4 or 5 people to a unit. So then you can't have this huge, somebody can't spill the beans on everyone.
Right.
Because the
And
left
if
hand.
somebody does, then you know who did it.
Right.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Coca-Cola Corporation. Only 2 employees ever at the same time know the whole formula, and they never fly on the same plane together.
Whoa.
Jesus Christ, really?
Uh-huh. And it's in a bank style vault, the formula. Only 2 people know it.
Jesus, it's not that good.
They're Japanese.
And what?
Huh?
The Coca-Cola?
Oh, you said it's not that good. I
Yeah.
thought you said they weren't that good.
Jeez.
I mean, I
What are you
bet.
talking about, Doc? All the best stuff's made in Japan.
God. Hey, remind me really quick. This is just an aside, but it is relative. It is related to this. One of our very, very early episodes of the show, now almost 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Adam Todd Brown did the show,
Mm-hmm.
and he did a profile on Putin's Rasputin, Alexander Dugin,
Uh-huh.
who wrote The Foundation of Geopolitics,
Uh-huh.
which was basically the manifesto for everything that you see happening with Russia today. His daughter
Was the one that was killed?
was blown up in a car bomb
yes, that's
outside of a
horrible.
festival that was intended for Alexander. And there's like pictures of him reacting and shit.
Oh,
because they
God.
decided to take different cars. She's blown to fucking smithereens. She's also a piece of shit. Was a piece of shit.
She was very...
She was. Now she's pieces of shit. Fuck her. I don't care.
No, I know. I know.
But then, like, the next day, Dugan had a heart attack.
Whoa, is he dead?
No, as far as I know, he's not dead yet.
Shit.
And I don't think it was like Novichok or something. I think it was a stress. Stress. When a loved one dies, you're like 20 times more likely to have a heart attack in the next 24 to 48 hours.
sense,
and
yeah.
it goes down. So,
Damn.
bright side. But I just wanted to get that out because it related to a previous episode.
Very good.
and-
Thank you, sir. Mm-hmm. So, so they're doing, the cell structure, and they kind of like fucking sync up their shit, dude. Like, they really they just get good and organized.
Where did they get it from? Like obvious, other than the fact that their current structure was not working.
Well, most
Did
of
they
it
have any other? Did they get it from somewhere, or did they?
no, most of it's just discipline, man. Like, it's stuff that, if they,
Japanese love discipline.
Then we think about it if like me and you had to like do some shit, and we'd be like, all right, well, fucking, if somebody sees us go there, then what do we do? And then we go like, all right, well, fucking, if
Split
that
up.
phone there is compromised, then so you just
Yeah,
think
they just figured it out.
you just figure this, this shit out, and then you do the discipline of taking the multiple steps,
Right.
Counter surveillance stuff.
Yep.
It's just like
Dude, I love subterfuge.
turning yourself around and seeing if somebody's following you, doing all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that 9 times out of 10, whenever these things fail, people just stop doing the discipline.
Yes.
That's, what it is, which when your life is on the line, it's like,
Follow the rules, dude.
come on, dude.
So is there someone else who's in charge now, or
Well, yeah, that's gonna, but
Okay.
it's, so, I think it's kind of like up in the air for a while, and they get their orders from just like a network, so they don't really know who's in charge.
Charlie from
and
Charlie's
then,
Angels.
and then there's nobody to snitch on, right?
right? That's true.
They use time calls to public phones and messages passed between activist girlfriends who held quiet meetings at public cafes. So the first thing they do is get money. So they do. They carry out these crazy daytime bank robberies. They go to train stations, multiple train lines. They disappear into Tokyo, like hideouts, get the money. And they said every time they got close to finding like a stash house, rental agreements closed, place is clean. Like they had to fucking jump on the cops, and they were just like able to fucking get away. And like they've been so sloppy, and they just it's so crazy, right? Because it's the same thing with Weather Underground and those SDS guys. At first they were just at fucking Harvard being like we should do this and blah blah, and then it's like suddenly it's like I don't have a fucking name. It's the fucking
escalation.
It's Life During Wartime, the Talking Head song.
Yeah.
Got a van. I dyed my hair so many times now. I don't know what I look like. That sort of thing. Which is crazy because when Life During Wartime the song comes out, those guys are still at large. And that's the thing. Like I didn't realize because I talked to you about like German Red Army faction and the Italian Red Brigades
who successfully kidnapped the prime minister
and killed him.
Nice.
Yeah, left him in like the back of a fucking Volkswagen. Just on the side of the road. Jesus, those guys never got caught. Like that shit is fucking nuts.
Yeah.
And a lot of these guys that are really good at this shit, they don't get caught,
Yeah, go listen to that episode, fuckers.
But so they're doing these bank robberies, they're getting away with it, and the tenant, like, the landlords never knew they were, like, renting to, like, when they cleaned these places out, they were like, oh, we didn't fucking know.
They paid the rent on time, I didn't ask questions type of thing.
That's the thing, like, you go, like, if you imagine just, like, the average look of the Japanese student, and you go, like, what, like...
What, you want to pick him out of a lineup?
Well, Andreas Botter even has, like, he's trying to have, like, a Cuban-looking mustache or something. Like, these guys just look like nice kids. Like, they are nice kids,
I love a good bank robbery.
Oh, it's the best, isn't it?
It just, don't shoot the teller and take the money. I love that.
And so then this is the classic thing, too, is that everybody that got caught in this stupid mountain raid when the fucking organization sucked, they're like, oh, that's not cool that they're doing those. They've lost their way. You know when the people that get caught are like,
they're not real Christians.
Oh, yeah, my organization's dead. It's like, you know what? I think the people that are keeping it alive outside didn't get caught, I think that didn't bring the plans to abduct the prime minister.
Yeah.
I think they might be in charge now.
Yeah.
And I think you might shut up and have your gruel.
You had your chance.
But so, on the 30th of March, 1970, there was a flight, Japan Airlines flight between Tokyo and Fukuoka. It had just reached cruising altitude, and they put on the seatbelt signs, had blinked off, and everybody starts chiefing cigs.
Dude, the best.
So cool. Ripping
eaters, dude. Rip it.
Aaron brought me a fucking ashtray.
I bought him an ashtray from Bali.
Oh.
I got you a fucking dildo bottle opener.
Yeah. I already have an ashtray.
10 sizes too big.
Too big for who?
Fit it.
Fucking bungo.
So, 9 young fellas in business suits.
Yeah, all right.
They got these long tubes with them
For heaters?
Tubes.
and out of those tubes suddenly come samurai swords
Yes.
and pipe bombs.
Dude, pipe bombs in pipes?
That's double pipe bomb.
And the guy goes, "Raise your hands. We're going to North Korea, baby."
That's the second time I've heard that before.
Like a roller coaster?
Yeah.
Whee! We got pipe bombs. We got katanas. We got heaters.
They didn't have katanas.
It's ready for a fucking party.
Yeah, it's not even a hijacking. This is just a good time.
So this is the first ever commercial flight hijacking in Japan's history.
Dude, this is a kamikaze.
Yeah.
Who's ready for Bukaki baptism, motherfucker?
So one of the guys hijacking was Wakabayashi Moriaki.
Love it.
And he was in a psych rock band called
He was in a psych rock band?
yeah,
Cool.
called Les Réalises des Nudes.
Okay.
Less cool, but still.
And he was into French literature.
Ugh.
Soon after the band,
Dude, Japanese guys into French lit. Trouble.
soon after
Ugh,
the
that's your
band,
girlfriend.
the band, obscure when the hijacking occurred, gained an ever-increasing cult fame.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, there were no Shinrikyo.
Right.
Number one with a bullet.
And you like Shinrikyo? Wait till you take a listen.
What about
These guys.
That reality has. Dude.
And here they
Put your
are.
hands in the sky. We're going to North Korea, baby.
Moshi Moshi. Our fucking Casey Kasem is horrible.
No, it's all about the energy. It's the energy. You know?
I'm Casey Kasem.
Domo arigato,
I'm
Mr. Roboto. Thank you very much. It's so sick. So dope. So four of the guys they go into the cockpit and they got their swords pointed at the pilot.
Dude, what is it with these fucking Japanese motherfuckers in airplanes? We got, dude, there's fucking porno samurai killer. No. There's Japanese kamikaze porno samurai killer.
That's correct.
And then there's fucking gay poet.
Mishima playing at Brain Dead. I told Matt just the other night.
Right.
Dude, Mishima is
George Lucas and Francis Ford Coppola,
yes.
and directed by Paul Schrader.
And Paul Schrader, that's
Paul
what it was.
Schrader.
Dude, anybody out there, if you've not watched Mishima, Life in 3 Acts,
Yeah, maybe 4.
incredible.
Yeah,
80s neon noir,
yeah.
incredible. We watched it during pandemic, sight unseen, just because we had done the show,
Yeah.
and I was blown away. I loved it.
Yeah. It was crazy that night. They happened to have at Alamo. They had Cat People by Schrader too. I was like, there's 2 Paul Schrader movies playing at like the same time in LA tonight.
Weird.
Super weird.
That guy.
Anywho, so
I says.
I look at him straight in the eye. You're not gonna believe.
I says.
So they said, they were like, we want to go to North Korea. They said, as long as you take us there, nobody's dying.
It's fucking party, Pyongyang, man.
And the pilot, whose name is Ashita Shinji, he was a former officer in the Imperial Army.
Oh, he don't take no guff from nobody.
And he goes,
We do things a little bit different.
he goes, we don't have enough fuel to get there.
Pretty good point.
And I think they do.
But he doesn't know then.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they're fresh out of college. They're like,
Oh no!
and so they go, let's go to Fukuoka as planned, and then we'll refuel and we'll go. And they're
You
like,
cool
yeah.
with that?
So then there's 300 cops there, and this guy keeps his head somehow. And
Which is the
He
pilot.
keeps his head somehow.
yeah.
You're talking about the student.
No. I meant the pilot.
Yeah, that makes sense. He's an
The
army
pilot
guy.
fucking brought these fugitives to justice.
No, you don't know what happens yet.
Oh.
300 policemen, he disguised as airport engineers, waited on the tarmac as the hijacked plane made its descent.
Look at me, I'm an engineer.
The government was scrambling for a way to solve the situation. Nothing like this had ever happened before in Japan.
Yeah, shit.
So there was a military there, the media is there, and then they see all the people on the tarmac, and then they're like, everybody get the fuck away. And they're like, no, we're not getting off the plane. Like,
What are we, amateurs?
yeah.
Well, yes, because they
Yeah,
got stuck
And
there.
so then they start refueling the plane, and then the hijackers release the 23 women and children and elderly.
Sugar in the gas tank. Come on.
Banana in the
And
tailpipe.
because they were like, if we get into like the gulag in North Korea, it's not going to be good for them.
No. That's
not-
not true. That's true.
And
Into
so,
the Gusenlog, it's even worse.
So then the pilot takes off, Ashita takes off towards the Korean Peninsula, and they stay. 2 military planes stay next until they leave Japanese airspace.
That's nice of him.
And then there's this voice comes over that says it's from Pyongyang, right? And it's like it's given instructions how to get there. He lands the plane, and there's a bunch of North Korean fucking like military guys walking around. Some women in Korean, fucking
Garb.
yeah.
And there's a suspicious looking stage like thing.
Dude, tell me
With a-
they're not even in fucking North Korea.
Yeah, and then they see the tail of a plane that says Northwest Airlines.
Yeah!
And the pilot's going, what the fuck? And they realize they're still in Japan. They've made a
A
fake
U-turn.
They've made a fake airport.
Yeah.
They threw together a fake airport.
Yes.
This is the first hijacking in Japanese history.
And they fucked it up.
And they go like, they're back up in the air. Okay, here's the thing. We're going back to Tokyo.
Paint a bunch of shit on here.
Get every actor
The
you
paint's
know.
like running.
Yeah.
They're like
It's like Lord of War.
they're getting like the directors on the line. They're getting all the Hollywood people.
All right, who can paint a background in 5 minutes?
So
We'll put on the Ritz.
so at first the hijackers start fucking like celebrating.
Yeah.
They see all North
my
Korean military guys marching around.
Yeah, as they do at the
You're stepping
airport.
around?
Yes. Bring the North Korean women. Please walk around the airport, will you?
And then they go like, then they're about to get off, and they're like, "Where's the fucking flags?" And then they're like, "Wait," and then like everybody, and they go,
Speak Korean, motherfucker.
and they seriously go, "Where's a big?"
Look at him. He can't say it.
They go, "Where's a big picture of Kim Il Sung?"
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
Where's that shit at?
It's true. It makes a good point there.
Because
there's a big ass picture of that
There
motherfucker.
better be a fucking giant portrait of Kim
No,
Il
or like a
Sung
statue.
Let's
and
be-
his giant neck tumor.
Let's be real, not one. Like
Everywhere.
Yeah,
Better be the tarmac. Better be a paint by numbers Kim Il Sung.
Yeah.
So then
you
they
land on his
so-
face.
So then they tell the people at the airport, they go, "Show us a big picture of Kim." And then they're like,
No.
they go,
We got our best guys on it right now. See?
Shit.
So
there's a guy in the background going,
It was no, it wasn't Japan. It was South Korea. But they put this together, this whole fucking fake thing.
No, South Korea has tons of props.
So then they won't let out any of the
North Korea.
passengers, right? And so then they're there for 79 hours on the tarmac.
I'm sorry, what?
79
hours? And that toilet is just
Oh, dude.
a mess.
So later on, the people on board the plane, even though they like had signs of fatigue after 80 hours, they said the hijackers treated them kindly. One American on board the plane said Japan Airlines would do well to hire them as their flight attendants.
I've ridden United, and United
So I
sucks.
was there in Iwo Jima, and I'll tell you what, these, you know what's it called? A lot better than those other, you know
I've
what
had
they
some
call
bad
them.
plane experiences. Yeah, man.
So then, yeah, it keeps going. So the vice minister in Japan for transportation is a gentleman by the name of Yamamura Shinjiro. And he goes, I'm going to fly to Seoul, and you're going to let go of all of the hostages, and I'm going to get on board the plane.
Cool.
And he's a what?
He's the vice minister for transportation in
Okay,
Japan.
all right, so it's Pete Buttigieg
But like,
because
Yeah.
me for these.
Pete Buttigieg is, step down.
yeah, it does step
his
below.
bottom.
Yeah. It's,
Pete Buttigieg's bottom says, "All right, you take me, let these people go." Got it. I love this.
yeah, that's great.
So they
Don't
go,
fuck me.
No.
So yeah, that's what this guy fucking just is like, take me. Which fucking kudos to this dude,
Yeah,
right?
seriously.
They fucking go to Pyongyang, right? And they're like, we fucking did it, dude. This is so sick.
They got him on board. Then they flew to. They,
And
then
they
went-
let the people go.
They let everybody go in Seoul and
I mean, Seoul.
Seoul. Sorry.
There is no Seoul.
Seoul.
There's no Dana, only Seoul.
And so they go. So they're like, oh yeah, nobody really asked us to come here. All right.
yeah,
We
they-
just thought it'd be cool if we did.
they-
Well, also like
Because we're comrades.
Yeah, and we're heeding the call to the revolutionary thing, which is, by the way, the exact same thing that happened in the innumerable hijacked flights that went into Havana.
yeah, the queue. Yeah,
Get the fuck out
Do you know
of
what?
here.
You know what they did? They'd be like, you would go to the fucking like the detention thing for like weeks to be like, you work for the CIA. You work for the CIA.
Right.
You work for the CIA.
Good move.
You work
Good
for the
move on
CIA.
their part.
yeah.
Yeah. Also, meanwhile, Castro had worked at a thing where it was like, I think $7,500 for every returned plane. And there was like over 100 in a year. 700, like $750,000 just in returned planes.
Here you go.
Here you go. we got a deal going.
Full tank gas.
Yeah.
too.
Here's the fucking, we'll send out the barge with fucking like,
There you go.
goddamn, yeah.
Yeah, we don't want them.
Yeah.
Like that
But
money.
the people that were like, I'm going there for revolutionary reasons, at first they were like, the Cuban government was like, yeah, bring it on, dude. Fuck up the West.
And then one guy's a spy.
No, but not even one guy can be a spy. So the ones that they were like, all right, you're fine. They sent them all to live in one building.
Oh, God.
It'd be like 60 fucking dudes in one building that all hijacked aircraft.
No,
can you imagine what that apartment's like?
Oh, the toilet stinks.
The rest of them that they didn't trust, they sent out to the fucking sugarcane like gulag. Like where you get like, you know, threatened with machetes, beaten with fucking like reeds, like the bottoms of your feet, like, like everybody thinks like
communist utopia.
Yeah,
yes?
I'm going to fucking paradise. I'm gonna be hailed as a hero.
How bad could Cuba be?
And they get there and they're like, oh yeah, nobody asked me to do this.
Right.
So this is what happens here. So the North Koreans are like, all right, you know, the fucking vice minister, he can go back. He's all good, right? He didn't ask for anything. And so now the North Korean goes like, oh, you're into fucking rocks and all that shit. We do things a little bit different here. And they go like, oh, it's time for some like new education.
We might call it re-education.
Yeah. And so they were sent on board for like North Korean intelligence services missions to like do like spy work. And some of them, you know, just died in Korea. I think one died trying to escape. It was not good. Some of the leaders that were arrested in like the mountain raid, they were on board for this thing. But yeah, it was a thing where like you're like, shit, dude, like this is like a group that just keeps like making like big swings and then like loses like key parts of the organization, you know. So there was the ex of one of the guys there who was Tamiya Takamoro. His ex was a woman named Shigenobu Fusako, and she would end up leading a faction of the Red Army faction. So now they're like fucking like, oh, we've had this huge embarrassment
again,
right? Yeah, another one. And there's this dude named Mori, right?
Povich?
And he's a guy that like he just like got out of jail and
hey,
homeless.
He's one of those guys where like you're like, oh, he's got like tenure.
He's got a lease and a key,
but
he's a man of the house.
Yeah.
Mori, M-O-R-I, Japanese.
Yeah, exactly.
Not Mori.
Not Mori. Yeah. No. But yeah, dude. So I want to take you to the next stage because now, Fusako, the woman, is going to play a role, and Mori's going to play a role. I love that. And they're basically, you know, gonna find a way to kind of become co-leaders. Because Mori is communist. Mori is not that respected, right?
No.
He's not that bright, and I don't think she's that far ahead, right? But
with our powers combined,
we can be as smart as one person.
Yeah. But their stuff will lead to some absolutely horrific violence at home.
Oh.
And the other like wing of this group will commit like incredibly brazen and well executed terrorist attacks abroad.
Abroad, really?
Yes. And they start tying into like Carlos the Jackal and stuff, and like the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine, that Carlos is very involved in. Mm-hmm. And yeah, you know, I'm like, spoiler, like some of these guys did never get caught. Some of them never surrendered. Some of these people got out in the 2000s and like immediately like were rearrested for like false documents. Like it's crazy because like. Some of this shit, born in straight up 68, 69, student revolutionary time, some of these people get involved in it, and they just will not quit no matter what happens.
Maybe that's all they know.
Yeah, and also, like, if, you know, you get arrested and you're kind of a radical, and they throw you in a gulag or Gitmo or something, and then it's probably a 50-50 shot that you're rehabilitated or you just get more radical.
Yeah, maybe,
if you're one of those people who's got extraordinary rendition and writ of habeas corpus suspended, if that doesn't radicalize you when you get out, nothing will. So fuck, you're not watching Arrested Development in there. You're just thinking about how I'm going to bring down the fucking capitalist pigs.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe there's no rehabilitation in some of those places either. Right? In the gulag?
Rehabilitation?
So I think I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna pick it up next time.
That's fair. It's fair.
Pick it up.
Yeah, we've talked about this period of Japan every so often.
Every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't very familiar with until Mishima.
Yeah, this idea too, the idea that
Mishima?
it was very close. It was very like we said, very fast for it to go emperor
to liberal,
feudal Japan to emperor time to contested elections, and then a very grateful populace, then becoming well, now we have these freedoms, why can't we have more kind of thing? And then, just going to, extremes about it. But also, it was just the climate of the whole world at that time in any kind of educated place.
Yeah, happened in Germany, too, right?
Yeah.
Germany, fucking Italy.
They gave all the fucking crazy people.
SPK, yeah. But then, every other thing, a thing I was thinking here when I was seeing it, and I'm going, there's a thing there where you go all right, well, who's signing up, right? Mm-hmm. And you go well, people willing to do jail or death.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
When you join the IRA, that's what they tell you. They're here's where it's going.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The chances of you taking the victory lap for United Ireland, basically none.
Yeah.
They're it's jail or death.
Yeah.
That's the deal here. So part of that deal is accepting the deal means everyone's dealt in.
And it is a pure form of communal. It's like a beehive. Most of you are not going to make it, but the hive survives.
But also, that means that you, Aaron, and I, and you, particularly you, unable to suffer fools for half a second. Then you go okay, well, this guy's in. He's retarded, and and he's got guns, and but he's got guns, man. And you're
guns.
And then you go push him to the front,
and you go I know he's got guns, but he's doing shit out there that's so dumb, and we're doing shit over here that's real good,
so dope,
and doesn't turn the public against us, and doesn't take human life for granted, or all that sort of shit.
You got to murk that guy,
but all these people can be under the same banner, and it's it's kind of thing where you go that's the fucking name of the game, man. If you're committing to that thing, it's you almost can't demand
a bar.
that is pretty much right.
But that's why it happens. It happens all the time. Or just this is maybe not the great example, but in Few Good Men, there's a code red. Mm-hmm. There's listen, man, again, not the greatest example, but if you got a guy amongst your ranks who's shitting in the punch bowl,
yes,
it doesn't matter if we're ideologically aligned. Mm-hmm. You are threatening the entire party,
right?
Yes.
Right.
So by your fucking cowboy shit.
So a lot of that stuff.
You make it look like somebody else did it.
Well, there's the disciplinary thing was with in the IRA, for instance, it was.
Well, shucks.
It was called the Nutting Squad. First of all.
Oh, that's our new name of the show.
3 bottoms and they're all nutting.
But it was because this dude.
Suicide Squad.
This dude, I guess, fucking puts a fucking bullet in your nut or whatever.
No, the bullet comes out of my nut.
Yeah,
fucking shot his load.
But it would usually be
it's a superhero.
It would usually be for things related to the most important thing, which is there an informant? Right.
Yes, of course.
Secondary to that would be just disciplinary actions for general
malfeasance.
Yeah, because
misdemeanors.
They still have that kind of terrorist wall of silence.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And Catholic discipline.
Just the thing of like I said, it's just that thing of look, it's a guy that's willing to go out and get shot, man.
Yeah.
If he's willing to do that, and we have so few,
And that's good enough for now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Even if he's kind of fucking stuff up for it, but yeah, they didn't take it too much. Like, if somebody was really, really, really throwing their weight around, they knew people in the community didn't like that,
Yeah.
so they would want to like keep some balance there, because it's the same balance. That means your car's not going to get stolen because somebody's going to get a shot in the kneecap.
Right.
So you know that your car's safe.
And you also know that
And you need
eventually, odds are, that guy's gonna get killed.
He's an idiot.
Just make sure that he doesn't give up the goose before that.
Exactly. Yeah. Keep him being an idiot. Keep him, be like, yeah, Damien,
Yeah,
job for you.
Keep him on the diet of, feed him shit, keep him in the
Right.
dark. And
Yeah.
He'll do the dirty work, and then.
But that's the kind of thing I thought when I was talking about, like, there was dope stuff happening abroad, like major fucking moves happening, and you just imagine this quiet, like, middle class looking, like, because it goes later into like the late 70s, and now you're thinking like, oh, he's just like some 30-year-old Japanese woman, last person you expect to be like fucking the plane's going to fucking Sudan, or whatever. You know what I mean?
Love the suit.
Yeah, like shit like that. You know what I'm saying though? Like,
You never think.
but then meanwhile she's hearing shit back home about like this lame ass like infighting and like some
What am I doing this?
some
Yeah,
bloodbath, and you're going like, oh god, what? We're the same name? Shit! Like, you're not even playing the same sport here, man.
Yeah, I mean, as it grows, as it stretches, it's just all of these edges are like they deteriorate and things fall apart.
That's right.
Oh god, and the
That's right.
paranoia.
Yeah.
I mean, the paranoia must be fucking
Go
immense.
live in a kibbutz.
Yeah, that's why I'm
You
saying.
don't have to do any terrorism.
No, there's fucking 12 of you.
But also, like, that's
Who
what,
farted? You did.
we all did.
we all
So
did.
far, we all.
Well, we all did the same thing.
Your ass.
But yeah,
That was great.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick it up next week. I'm excited to go deeper into these guys. I don't know how I was really so unaware of them, especially with their crossover with Palestinian stuff and like that whole era of the peaceful plane hijackings.
Yeah.
Where, by the way, there was just tons of negotiating with terrorists,
Until there wasn't. Yeah.
and like everything was fine.
Until Wesley Snipes
like,
got
fucking
aboard. It was
people
like, fuck,
didn't-
Dude, I'm passenger 57.
People didn't die. Yeah, there was no passengers. Like 57. Wesley Snipes was still a young boy.
Dude, he was still not even a vampire yet.
Yeah, he wasn't even passenger 17 yet.
Dude. Dude, white guys were jumping all over him before that.
You didn't have to do taxes back then.
All right, fellas. Aaron, good to have you back with us.
Hey,
Welcome
it's
back.
great to be back,
Welcome
I
back.
guess.
Yeah.
Matt, good to have you back with us too.
Oh, thanks.
Chi-town.
Hey, all right.
Hey, you'll love it.
All right, I'm going to say goodnight. I love you. My name is John Fahey.
I am Aaron Pita, my comrades.
Purcell.
Good night, everybody. We love you.
Good day.
Scarpins Avenue.